In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to buy from 1688.com, which is the domestic version of Alibaba.com from your home country coming at you. For those of you new to my channel, my name is Michael and I come up with weekly videos on how to have a better lifestyle in China as a foreigner or an expat. So if this kind of content is valuable to you, consider subscribing to my channel. For those of you that don't know, 1688 is a B2B platform for companies either in China or overseas to buy bulk items for and to find suppliers who do business in their company. So just to give a quick example, if you want to find a source for a specific toy that's manufactured in China, you can buy it in bulk in this website and then sell it in your store respectively. People have said that 1688 is actually cheaper to buy from than Alibaba.com, which is the international version of 1688. And I'll be showing you specific examples in this video. So in this video, I'm going to touch on how to get an Alipay account, how to open a 1688 account, how to change your address, how to check if your Alipay account is properly linked to make payments, placing an order for goods, and finally at the end I'm going to give you some recommendations and tips on actually using this platform if you wanted to find a supplier in China to do business overseas or maybe in your company in China.
So the first thing you need to do is to download the application. You can go to the Google Play Store or the App Gallery and just simply look for Alipay. It would be known as Bao. You can see it right here. Make sure you download it properly. You can also download the international version. Then in the main screen, you're going to click on sign up. And note here that you can put your Chinese phone number or you can select international phone numbers and continue on the registration. Now I recommend that you have a Chinese bank account for this, but if you don't have a Chinese bank account, refer to this video to do the full registration that way. So once you're on the website, click up here. Then to make a brand new account, regardless if you have another Taobao account or anything, click right here. And then this is the sign up or register right here. You want to select an individual account. Notice that I have Google Translate on for my Chrome. So if you're using Chrome, go ahead and make sure that's installed. Then you put your information here, like your username, password, cell phone, all that information. Note that you can select any country, or not every country, but the countries that are listed here to put the phone number from that respective country. Once you put the phone number in, then you got to slide this, agree to the terms, and then continue. It's going to send you a one-time password to the phone number you put, and then simply finish the transaction. Now, if you want to log in using your phone, you simply log into your Taobao account, which you can do because you already made an Alipay account, and then scan this QR code. I go into great detail on how to make a Taobao account right here if you do not have one already. So once you scan the code with your Taobao, you click continue on your cell phone screen, and then it will take you to the main menu here. If it is your first time logging into 1688 through the cell phone, it's going to ask you to put in some company information. This step is optional. You can simply skip it and then go to the main menu. Once you're logged in, your home screen should look like this, and then to change your address, which should be your first step, click here. When you click here, click on the blue button that just pretty much says add your address. Now this first line is the receiving person's name, and the second line is like the district or like the start of your address. Note that there is an option to say foreign address, so as in outside of China. However, this is a platform meant for the domestic market in China, so I'm just going to put a random address for the domestic version. I do recommend that if you plan on shipping overseas, that you find a third party, which I know a couple third parties that can help you ship from domestic market to the international market, because not all customers here can ship overseas. That's why they created the Alibaba.com version, because they can all ship overseas. This line right here, you put like the street number and the building number, and then over here you just put the zip code, and lastly you put a contact phone number here, and then you can save it from there. Then if successful, the address will show up if you refresh the page, just like this. So after you saved your address, let's go buy something. So in this example, I'm gonna look for a passport cover. I'm obviously using this in Chinese, so you may need to use Google Translate if you can't type in Chinese, because this is a Chinese platform. Scroll down. I'm going to choose this one as an example because it stands out to me. Okay, so an introduction of how to buy things here. So you can see 3 different prices on top. These prices are based on quantity. So you can see if you buy between 3 and 99, it will be 3 yuan and 50 cents. If you buy between 100 and 299, it'll be 3 yuan, and then you can kind of do the math on the rest. Something to note here is that you need to put the location in which you're going to receive the goods. Because this is a domestic platform, I do not see an option where you can send this overseas, which is why I recommend you have a third party that can help you ship this overseas. So they usually have an address they can ship it to. In my case, I'm just going to pick a random place in Guangzhou. Down here, you can select the quantity and the color. Again, just look at the top as a reference. In this example, I'm just going to fill out a total of 30 passports. But this is a smart system, so as long as you put in the numbers, it will automatically adjust the price based on the quantity. So in this case, if I want to buy 100, it'll be 300 RMB. This also automatically calculates the shipping cost based on the quantity you put in. So this would be the shipping in the domestic market of the address you put in there. If you have any questions to the supplier that you may want to answer, you can click right here on the left side. You will have to download an application to actually contact them on your cell phone or your computer. But here I asked them if they send this product to the overseas market, and they said no, you have to handle that yourself. We do not ship overseas. A lot of these companies don't want to ship overseas because they have to go through a lot of extra paperwork in order to do so, and they already have a successful business in the domestic market. So that's why I recommend finding a third party. Continue the transaction, go ahead and click right here, and it kind of gives you a breakdown of all the cost. So in this case, I selected a total of 30 passports, and it includes the shipping to the location I chose. To continue on with the payment, you want to click on the bottom right corner here in this orange button, and then you can go ahead with your Alipay account that's already linked to this account, finish the payment, and you're good to go.
Okay, so some recommendations I'm going to give you about using this platform if you're not interested in using Alibaba.com, but you rather use 1688. Make it easier for the supplier when it comes to transactions. Don't try and link any bank cards that only accept USD or pay in USD. Instead, you're going to have to probably get a Chinese bank account and an Alipay so that you can pay the supplier in RMB because they're used to doing business in the domestic market. Consider an agent if you're doing business overseas and you want to find a supplier here. The reason I say finding an agent is because the supplier most likely won't speak any English and may not even be interested in selling products overseas. What do I mean by this? There is a lot of paperwork that goes into shipping stuff from China and overseas, and if the company is successful domestically in mainland China, why bother, you know? So an agent that is already certified to send items overseas can kind of help you go through that obstacle. And lastly, they can deal with negotiations or conversations with the factory if you speak no Mandarin. Whenever doing business in this platform, you're most likely going to need a Chinese internet connection. I've tried it and it's kind of hit or miss for me using a foreign IP address to access 1688, but for the most part, I needed the Chinese internet connection. So you may need to consider a VPN from your home country to go into the Chinese network. So the last recommendation is to consider the pros and cons of using 1688 and Alibaba. The biggest pro that people may say is the cost of goods. If you buy the same product on the 1688 platform, it could be cheaper than buying it in the Alibaba platform. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you an example right now.
So here I'm in the Alibaba website, and I'm actually going to search for the same passport cover as I did in the 1688. I did save a picture, so I can simply click on the image icon and then select the passport photo to search. After searching, you can see it's pretty much the first choice that I can select right here, and you can see the cost of goods here. If you guys remember, I also did an example of using 30 passports in the domestic version. And I want you guys to pay attention to the total price on the right that has a whopping $24 almost for shipping to the USA. If you want to use Alibaba.com to contact the seller, you can simply click right here. Note that it is not an immediate feedback like I received in the domestic market, but instead you have to type in your email address and maybe get an answer within 24 hours or even more. Now to show you some of the numbers of the example I just used, using the 1688 platform, to buy 30 of those passports would cost 105 RMB. The shipping would be 10 RMB to the domestic location plus the third party you're using for the cost to ship to the US. On Alibaba, the same 30 passports actually cost 210 RMB, which is twice the price. However, you do have a fixed rate of 168 RMB to ship it directly to the US, where you don't need to find a third party. So you can do the math and figure out which one is indeed cheaper in some situations.
So after you research which product is cheaper in the Alibaba site or in the 1688, you also may want to consider that customer service is a lot faster in China when using Chinese platforms. Actually, the behavior of the typical consumer here is that you receive immediate feedback and service via WeChat or some kind of chat using the platform, whereas the Alibaba, you need to email them and wait within a 24-hour period, and like no one likes waiting for that, but that's what you get for English service. But if you use Chinese service, you can expect like almost immediate feedback. And something to note, that if you do want to use the 1688 versus Alibaba, you must have a Chinese bank account. I have not tried this with the Alipay Tour Pass, but I'm like 90% sure it won't work because it's not possible to actually verify your Alipay account, at least not that I know of, using the Tour Pass. So you will actually need a bank account in China with a verified Alipay. That can only be done if you have a Chinese bank account and if you verified your passport and all the information in there with a company. Whereas if you use Alibaba, then you can use payments like Visa, MasterCard, and I think Western Union is in there, where you don't have to worry about dealing with the Chinese bank accounts. But the downside is it may be more expensive to do the purchase. So the theme is to do your research, find the materials in both Alibaba and 1688, do the math of which one's cheaper, see if you can find an agent to help you ship items overseas, compare both costs, and then go with the ones that you are most comfortable with as a buyer. So if you found any value from this video, please like and leave a comment below. If you think anybody else can find value from this video, don't be scared to hit that share button and let them know. Consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see any more content about having a better lifestyle in China as a foreigner for our posts on a weekly basis. Also, consider following me on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, and my Facebook group if you want to do one-on-one questions and consultations for any problems you may have in China as a foreigner. Thanks for watching, keep surviving, and I'll catch you in the next one.